give away your secrets for free. Don't worry about giving it away. Only 10% or less of the people are actually going to do what you're saying. So, and then, so 8 years later, I created a podcast that gave all my competitors all my secret, edges and all my advice. So I didn't really know I was doing that, but I was just absorbing stuff like a sponge back then. And so it kind of just was innate to me. So when I went out on my own as a BDO, where you go out, a business development officer, that's what we call them in the SBA space, where you're going out to the market with a laptop and a cell phone, you've got to make it. The first thing I did was create an email newsletter. This is 2013. The bank was like, no, you can't send emails. That's crazy. So I technically got my boss's off the record approval to do it anyway, and I started creating these emails that were just so effective because I was like really paying attention to the subject line and the copy, and all this stuff kind of came naturally to me. But I would get to a point where if I needed a deal, I would send an email to my database and I would just know, like, with the utmost confidence that I would get a deal, as a response to that email blast. And that was so different than what our bosses were saying to do, which was to go to the chamber event and to find 10 good referral sources, and try to take them out to lunch and dinners and cultivate those relationships, which is fine. And that works for sure for some. But I went a totally different approach where I have thousands and thousands of people in my database, and I use content to just stay in front of them at all times.
We can't gloss over this point because it's something that I've talked about on the podcast. You're practically applying this. You've hacked time. It took time to build up that level of a database, 2013 to now. So that's 11 years, if I'm doing my math correctly. Mm-hmm. But over that period of time, you were placing deposits into the trust fund of people who you had captured their attention by providing value to them. And as a result, your investment of time over time is now paying a multiple. You need a deal, you send the email, you get the deal. Whereas to go out, nothing wrong, chambers of commerce, centers of influence, it's relationship building, but in a different way compared to the relationships that you're building through content, crafting messages, communication. And I want to go back to, you got the off the record approval to start the newsletter. Why is this such a different way of thinking? It's a different way of doing. Maybe back in 2013, is there still that cultural nuance of, we're going to do it the way we've always done it because it's all we've done, it's all we've known, and anything outside of that, it's scary, change is hard, I don't want to learn anything new? Or is there a tide shifting? Go back to just set the context of 2013, and why was there resistance there to begin with in the first place?
Well, I honestly think it is mostly a compliance thing. I struggled with this myself. I'm not a banking compliance expert. All I know is the bank hires the BDO to go out and develop business. How they do that is by creating a message and delivering that message to the right audience. Mm-hmm. So for them, if you go in front of a group of people and deliver that message, and of course, anyone could be recording you these days, and that can go on the internet and everyone can hear it.